just gets answered here. Good afternoon, Evolution family. Today is Wednesday, February 18th. It's a little bit after 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm Jose Lambert of Archer Travel Service. I want to welcome you to the Archer Travel Wednesday training for today. And we have a good one for you today, too. It's How to Book a Group Cruise 101. And joining us is the grand lady herself of cruises here at Archer Travel. A lot of you know her, Peggy, our cruise and group cruise coordinator. Good afternoon, Peggy. How are you?
Good afternoon, Jose. Hope they got their sneakers on because this one's going to be a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one. Listen, I hope you're fine out there. We've been getting a lot of rain here in Southern California, and Peggy works remotely in the Antelope Valley. I hope everything's okay out there. Is everything all right?
Lots of rain. There was some flooding, but today there's blue sky.
Yeah. Today is a blue sky, but it's kind of chilly outside. It's like 50.
It's a little nippy, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're not used to that. I mean, that's we put on our, and I feel so bad when I talk to the agents in Columbus, Ohio. They go 50, man. That's flip flop weather for us. They go to the pool in that weather.
I know. It's like goodness. Yeah.
So they go to the pool and that thing. And so everybody update how to book group cruises for 2026. This is a very good training, and you really should pay attention if you're going to be starting to go into this. There's some really good positiveness about doing these kind of bookings. Number one, the commission is great. You make really great commission. And then we're going to talk about the other part of it. This goes in conjunction with the first one that we did when Princess Cruises was here with Jill Langley. We did how to book a cruise. That's like, for the family of four or a couple. This is going to be about group cruises. So I really highly recommend that you grab a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, take down some notes, or if you have any questions, ask them at the end of the presentation. As usual, I will give you my email address so you can email me if you want a copy of the PowerPoint slides that we have here so you can share this information with your other team members that are on your team. And it's just really good information to have around. All right, so here we go. All right, let's do this. I'll do the first one, Peggy, and then you do the second one, okay?
Okie doke. Okay,
how many make a group? All right, and this goes for land also, okay? But let's talk about how many make a group. Remember the 10-10-8 rule. It's 10-10-8. For air, it's 10 people. For hotel and resorts, it's 20 people, which is 10 rooms, double occupancy. 10 rooms, double occupancy. For cruises, it's 16 people, 8 cabins, double occupancy. Now, this has changed. This used to, right, Peggy? This has fluctuated in the last year or so.
It fluctuated a little bit, yes.
Right. There's some cruise lines that don't make it 8, it's 7 or 6, and it's still a group. So, but generally, it's 8 cabins, and it's not rooms. I'm getting too many new agents going, oh, I got 5 rooms on the Carnival Jubilee. They're not rooms, they're cabins. So, all right. So there you go. So let's do that. All right. So now Peggy's going to do the next one. I'm going to step out of the side so you can take a screenshot of it. Go ahead, Peggy.
What if no group inventory? Hello, you contact me at the Peggy H at archertravel.com. I can go into most cruise lines, check to see what the availability is like. And then if we need to move to a different cruise line, we can definitely do that. But I'll always try the first cruise line first.
What's happening here is this. You guys call the cruise lines for your groups and they go, oh, we don't have no inventory available. And you go, oh, no, and then you drop. So that's why I'm saying, if they say no, if they don't have anything, contact Peggy. She might be able to find some extra inventory there in the cruise line and checking their inventory, what's available. All right?
Definitely.
All right, let's go to the next slide. The types of groups that you can book on cruises or for land also is family reunion, wedding destination, church journey. This is a good one, and people kind of like forget about this, but you can actually go on Carnival or Royal or Princess and do Christian retreats or any type of religious retreats that you have. They have rooms available, certain rooms. They even have chapels in the majority of these ships. So think about that. Also, company event. Archer Travel went on a company event. We've had several company events. We celebrated our 70th anniversary on the, what was that on the, was that on the Radiance? Ryan, was that Is that on the Radiance, Ryan?
No, that was on
No, the 70th was on the Carnival Radiance. Yeah, because I remember it was the white party. Yeah, I remember that one. That was a great one. And Amanda, we saw Amanda up on the big video screen. So that was that one. So that's another thing. Sports event, Super Bowl. There, I know a lot of you guys are booking out Super Bowl cruises, and this is a real big thing.
Yep.
In sporting events, music, dance events, anniversaries, special event. You want to start your bookings at least 6 months to 1 year out, or even further. Right, Peggy?
Definitely. That gives you more than enough time. I mean, obviously, you want people to be in line, ready to get their cabins booked with money. But if you start that far out, you've got a lot of other places you can actually go.
Right.
Senior centers.
Yeah.
Go to your local senior centers. If
Yeah.
you've got Elks Club,
Oh yeah, that's another one. Elks Club's
VFW,
yeah.
I mean, all of those types of organizations.
Um,
Let them know who you are.
Archer Travel is doing a special event with NA. We've done a couple of NA cruises the last couple of years, and we have another one coming up in March where Dave Michon, who works here, you guys know Dave, he's taking out a bunch of people, Royal Caribbean out of, I think it's out of Miami, and that's going to be a really good thing. So there you go. You want to be out, and also you have the inventory then. If you get to 6 months,
Yes.
you may not have the inventory that you need. So you want to be out at least a year to 6 months out.
Gives you
All
plenty
right,
of time to work it, and the availability will definitely be there. Yes.
Okay, do this one, Peggy.
First thing, get some assistance. Have someone either within the group or maybe your high school child that can assist you. They can help with managing the group itself, emails, updates, announcements. They can gather passport information. Someone you can contact when a client is not around. They're going to be your right-hand person.
Yeah.
They're going to make your life easier so you can manage the dollars that you have to maintain.
Yeah. And you guys don't do this. I mean, you guys call, right, Peggy? How many times
Exactly.
are you getting help? Are you getting, well, no, I decided to do it all by myself. Then you're
Yep.
getting frazzled because you also have to book 5 more other things for other clients. That's why I'm saying get somebody to assist you. Whether if it's a you know, let's say it's a destination wedding, you know, a bridesmaid, the mom, you know, the sister to the bride, or somebody to help. And also, really important is passports. You guys, this
yeah.
is a big one, right? Right, Peg?
Passports are so important, and I know it's an additional cost, but this far out, they can get all of their
Yes.
documents together, get their passports done. If they plan on traveling, passports are the best form of identification.
Right.
That way they can leave the birth certificates locked up. They don't have to worry about them anymore.
And then, you know, I mean, I hate to be a fatalist. I don't like to be like that. But, you know, if you do get hurt or something, if you get injured
Yes.
in like Mexico or in the Caribbean, or let's say that you're in Aruba or Honduras where they stop, and you only have a birth certificate and you have to stay in the hospital, it's going to be really hard for you to get back into the United States without a passport. So,
you're not going to get back. It's going to take an act of Congress to try and get you home.
That's right. So passports is the way to go. All right, let me do
Yep.
this one now. Steps to booking group cruises, the pre-booking steps, okay? How many passengers make a group? Again, go back. 8 or more cabins at double occupancy, that's 16 people. Start early, 1 year out, 6 months out. Get committed passengers. How do we do that? How do we do that, Jose? Well, you send out an email, right? And again, it's always the follow-up date, but you send it out. It's a cutoff date saying, you know what, we're going to go out on this cruise next November. We need to know by the end of February if you're coming or not and you're ready to go drop a deposit. With deposit ready. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, this is Peggy's favorite. This is Peggy's.
Oh, and if I don't get a minor guest policy violation every single day,
Yeah,
it's a blessing. We had another one today,
yeah.
and I sit here and very carefully type out the letter.
Yes. Now let us explain what this is, okay? Because this gets into real muddiness, but it's really simple, okay? You cannot book two kids in one cabin. They have to be either
Nope.
21 or above. So don't think because you have an adjoining cabin that you got mom and dad, and then the other cabin they got the kids. That ain't gonna work. That's when you get a letter from Carnival, and then Peggy sends it out. Go ahead, Peggy. Talk
Yep.
about this.
Basically, in that kind of a situation, even if they're adjoining, there has to be an adult 25 years or older in each cabin. And what we're finding is that maybe mom and dad have a balcony and they have their 21-year-old, their 17-year-old, or younger in the same cabin, but they're not referenced with the special codes that need to go into each booking. That's where the minor policy violations come in. That's when I get the emails and I send them back out to the agent with the instructions from the cruise line, and I always copy Jose and Nancy in so that they're aware of what's happening and why it needs to be done. Most of the time, the agents will then reply and let me know it's been taken care of, but not always. When you've got children under 21, they still have to be referenced with the special codes that need to go into both bookings, and they cannot be any further apart than 3 cabin doors. So if they're on different floors, there's going to have to be changes made.
Now, here's something else. If you don't get this handled, what happens if if the agent doesn't answer the email, doesn't know this happens, and they get down there to the cruise terminal? Tell me what happens, Peggy.
They're going to be denied boarding upon embarkation. The cruise line could, in fact, cancel that booking prior to that date. Normally, they're going to give them a 48-hour turnaround period. If it's not taken care of, the cabin could, in fact, be canceled, and any penalties that might be assessed will be assessed. I would hate for them to lose all of the monies that have been paid on that cabin, swallowed up by penalties.
Because the travel advisor didn't follow up and do the correct thing.
Didn't follow up. Exactly.
This is why you have Peggy. Peggy handles all your cruise questions and group cruise questions. Try to say that on a Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't be putting, the mom and dad up on, deck 15, and then you got the kids down on deck 8 in a smaller room. That's not going to work. So be aware of this.
Make sure they're on the same deck within 3 cabins. That way you're in a good place to start with. And then always never assume that by linking them for dining purposes, that takes care of the situation, because it doesn't.
Right. Now, also, I'm having a big shout out to all the leaders that are out there, the platinums and golds and the silvers that have their own teams that are teaching and talking about travel and talking about group cruises. Tell them, remind them about this. This is very important, and we get too many letters, too many emails from the cruise lines about this issue because you guys aren't doing the right booking. You're not thinking. So again, really be aware of this, because if this turns sour, it can get really ugly for you, and then the client loses money and they want their money back because you made the mistake.
Exactly.
So that's why we put it. Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna bring...
it's very, very important. If you reach back out to us for further instructions, we're right here for you. You've got us in your hip pocket.
Yeah.
Never hesitate to reach back out.
All right, now we have a couple of questions. Really quick, Ryan. Yeah, Peggy can't hear you.
We have two questions. Sandria Sapia from Facebook says, "Is this only a requirement for Carnival? Are other cruise lines doing this?"
No, it's a general rule throughout all the cruise lines. They're not going to
All
deal with
the
this.
cruise lines.
All the cruise lines have this. Every
Yes.
single one. It's not just Carnival. All of them have it. Okay?
Right.
So
Next
let's go for
question.
Princess, for Royal, for Norwegian. It goes all the way.
Next
Second
question
Yeah.
is from Sarah Harvey. What if a mom and dad are put in separate cabins?
Well, if a mom and dad are
Then
put in
you have
separate
someone
cabins
over.
and they have kids in there, that's fine
That's
because they're
fine.
over 25.
Okay.
Then that's fine. You guys don't overthink this.
That
It's
wa-
really simple.
That wasn't the question I wanted to add, but someone asked one really quick. The question I really wanted to ask was from Esmeralda Coria. So when booking, you let Carnival know, do you need to complete a form or do you just need to abide by the guidelines?
You got to abide by the guidelines.
So no
You don't
form.
need no forms or nothing. You guys, you're overthinking it. It's really simple. Okay? In each cabin, there's got to be somebody 25 years old or older. Really simple. You can't put two kids in there. Don't be putting a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 21-year-old. It's not going to work. But there are some
Right.
limitations. Like Peggy says, you can be like 2 or 3 doors. But if you have an issue with this, contact us. Don't start booking yet. If you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, contact us. That's why we're here. I don't want you going down some rabbit hole that you think, oh, I think I understand it, but you don't. Then if you don't, then call us. Call Peggy or myself. We will talk to you and walk you through it and help you get through and then you'll go, okay, I get it. I got it, Jose. See?
Yep.
Don't, right, Peggy?
Exactly. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Never hesitate to reach out to us.
Never. And don't be, going, and don't, I hate this one. The excuse, I didn't want to bother you, Jose. That's why Mr. Archer puts me in my chair. It's like,
That's why we're here. If they are successful, we've done our job.
Right.
If
Ronnie's
they
yelling,
don't reach
bother
out
Jose.
to us,
Call him up today.
yeah, exactly. Call Peggy. You can bother me
Yes.
anytime.
That's why we're here. It's, that's why we give you the numbers. We'd rather you call us first before you go down that rabbit hole and then, oh, no, look, now what happened? Then we got to go back in there and pull you back out. All right,
Yep,
let's go to the next slide.
exactly.
All right, step one. You want to do this? You can do the step one. Pre-qualify.
Pre-qualify. Why is the group going on a cruise? Where's the cruise going? Has anyone cruised before? Explain the pre and post nights. Explain excursions. Are there any special circumstances / needs that we need to be aware of? When do you want to go on the cruise? We need dates. Do the clients have passports? And the validity. Does the group want to invite anyone else? Extra commissions here.
Yes.
Well, maybe there's an anniversary cruise. Maybe there is a birthday cruise, retirement. I mean, there's all kinds of different occasions.
Mm-hmm.
What ports do they want to go to? Because that will dictate where they're going to depart from and how long the cruise might be. Always ask if anyone has cruised before.
Oh, that is a big one. You guys.
That's a biggie because
that is
if they've
big.
been on Royal Caribbean, they may want to go back on Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
Explain pre and post nights. Always try and get them to add a pre-cruise night
Oh, definitely.
to make sure that they get to the ship in a timely manner. If you've got an extra hotel night in the beginning, all flights, if they're driving, however they're getting to that port, they're going to be there the day before. So they're going to be able to board the ship and be on their vacation.
Right away in the next morning. And I,
Exactly.
Again, now if you get, some, like the clients like, oh, no, we're going to make it there. We live in Ohio, but we're going to take the morning flight and we're going to get there. Well, no. Because, Ohio, there's still rain and snow there. And,
Yep.
and again, if it gets, even if it's not rain or snow, let's say there's a schedule change. The flight's, late 2 hours getting out of Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. and then that puts you late getting in here. This is important.
And there's nothing better. You and I both have been through this. There's nothing better than getting an email or a frantic phone call from either the client or the agent going, "We just missed our ship."
Oh, no, I'm here in front of the ship. It's still here, right?
Yeah.
But it's all closed up. There's no TSA. There's no check-in. It is still here. They won't let me on. That's right. They're not going to let you on.
Exactly.
You know, these ships, okay, you guys know this. You know this, all right? The majority of you who have gone on cruises is right. They have the boarding in the morning. The embarkation starts around 10 a.m. to about 1, 2, maybe the latest is 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Okay, then they shut it down. And the ship's still there for 2 hours because most ships don't leave until like 5, 5:30. So the ship is still there, but it's all locked up. You can't get on. So
you can't get on because the TSA or customs and immigration officers are not there to check you in.
That's right.
You did not show up at the appropriate time.
Of your check-in time, where I told you, and they'll tell you that.
They've already been there all day long. They've gone home to have dinner with their family at that point.
Yeah. All right, now, a couple of things about this. Explain the excursions. Are there any special circumstances and needs? When you're working with a big group like this, especially when you have a family reunion, when they haven't seen, you know, Aunt Betty and Uncle Charlie in 20 years, and then you get to the cruise terminal and like, oh my God, I didn't know Aunt Betty's in a wheelchair now. That's why this is important, really important. So when you work with your clients, you got to make sure you can say, are you sure that there's no special needs or circumstances for oxygen, for wheelchair, for access, you know, for handicap access and that kind of thing? Because there are certain special cabins for those, and that's where you want to do that. Okay?
Yes.
I have a question on that, Jose, that's in the chat. How about
special cabins are available
Hold on, Peggy.
on all cruise lines.
Okay, hold on a second, Peggy. We got a question. Go ahead,
Ryan. Someone with dietary restrictions going on a cruise, how does that work?
Yeah, that's simple. Dietary restrictions, you get that information and you give that to the cruise line, and they'll fix that for you right away. Whatever type of dietary restrictions that you have, whether it's fruits or nuts, or if you're allergic to certain things, they do that big time.
Do you let them know during booking?
Exactly. If they're vegetarians, there's always going to be something for them to partake in.
That's right. And what was that, Ryan?
Do you have to let them know that during booking, or do you let them know once you get on the ship?
No, you let them know during booking. You don't want to do that. You don't want to show up on the day of the cruise going, oh, you know what, I'm a vegetarian and I got to... They will accommodate you, but maybe not right away, but you want to take care of that before anybody goes on the ship. Again, during this whole pre-qualifying stuff, okay?
Exactly.
And then the other thing is validity. We talked about passports, but remember that passports are only good for 9 years and 6 months. So you want to make sure that you have a clean passport. I know it says 10 years on it, but there's certain reasons why certain vendors and countries won't accept it after 9 years and 6 months, because if you get sick and you have to stay in that country, then your passport is invalid. And just a quick one to invite anyone else.
Your passports have to be valid for 6 months after your return date.
Yep. All right, so there, we got that going on. All right, now let's talk about this. Step number 1, what must be known to qualify? Ship, destination, where are you going? What cruise line do you want? Do you want do you want the Carnival Jubilee? Do you want the Norwegian Luna? Do you want the Star Princess? There's so many out there. Dates of cruise. How many people, kids and seniors? Room categories for the group. We need to know how many, balconies do you need? How many, interior cabins do you need? How many cabins with views? What type of events will there be? Are you going to have a certain special night, a celebration where you want to show slides, etc., or any type of AV? You need a PA system. You want to have a DJ if you want to have any type of special events. Must have commitment and room cabin breakdown. By the time you get all this information, you put out your cutoff date, and you've gotten the information from the group, the cabin inventory, and the cabin breakdown, group ready to make, and they're ready to make a deposit, then you go to the next step, and Peggy will talk about that. Here we go. Step number 2. Oh, commitment and breakdown. Set up a cutoff date. Go ahead, Peggy.
And room breakdown. Set up the cutoff date. and that's going to be 6 months before the event, no later than 90 days prior. And there's an example, an October cruise for a family reunion. You need to back your payment dates up so that you have plenty of time. And I will do anywhere between 7 and 10 business days. If you need more time than that, then you ask for more time. And it's because of the size of the group. Client has an idea of how many, but not sure, and has no idea of room type. Well, you're going to have something to work with. So in that kind of a case, you need to set up the cutoff date for May 15th to maybe June 15th, so you can make sure you have the right type of cabin allotments. Inform client to email group about cutoff dates, room types, and deposit ready. By cutoff date, you should have the commitment, room type, and deposit ready. And then you can either go to the cruise line or come to me for any additional questions so we can get this taken care of.
Now, a lot of you guys are saying, okay, I got that, Jose, but I want to show them some pricing. Show them some pricing, but also let them be aware, you know what? This is the basic pricing. We might be a little bit lower because we might get a group rate, but this is what you're looking at. You know, getting the prices for a cabin, balcony, you know, interior cabin, cabin with a view like this one, that's all easy. You can say it's going to be roughly about this one, but don't be saying this is the price it is until you see the contract. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, qualify. What type of cabin do your clients want? The cabin types are interior, ocean view, balcony, mini suite. There's some nice ones on Norwegian, and grand suite. So you need to know this, and the group needs to. Don't be sitting there going, well, okay, I'll put Uncle Charlie and Aunt Mary in an interior. No, that's not your job. It's their job to pick the cabins that they want. That way they'll be happy campers on the trip.
Exactly.
All right, Peggy, you can do this one.
Okay, qualify. What time do your clients want to dine? Normally, there are dining times starting at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and anytime dining. Each cruise line might call that anytime dining a number of different things, but it means the same. If you want the entire group to dine at the same time, when you're making reservations, you will choose that time. You can send in table requests to the different cruise lines so they can line them up. So Aunt Mary and Uncle John will be dining with their nieces and nephews at the same table.
Right.
They'll put tables together for larger groups. So you're all at the same time. So that's important. If they're early diners at home, okay, maybe they want to do that. I personally prefer later dining because if I'm out on the ship or on a shore excursion, I do not want to have to get back to the ship in time
and rush
to get ready to dine, get to the dining room itself.
Right.
Because by that point, I've lost interest in eating at that point, which means I'd probably go up to the Lido deck anyway and do the buffet.
Now, okay, let me 2 points there that she just mentioned. Okay, all of this dining that you see here is replicated. The same menu that they have on this dining room, they have up on the Lido deck, and that's where the buffet is. So you can go up there. Now, another thing to think about though is, let's say that the group wants to have a special evening of dining. They want to have a private area, you know, to celebrate or to do something, or, you know, have a, you know, show some slides or get together. That's doable, but you want to let the cruise line know before you go on the cruise. Don't be all of a sudden on the cruise and go, on the third day of the cruise, go, you know what, we want a private dining room, we want this and this, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because they have other events and other private events on the ship, you guys know this, when you go, every time you go on a ship, you'll see, this dining room is closed for a private event. This area is closed for a private event. They got that happening all over the ship, but as long as they know about it, you'll be set. Right, Peggy?
And as long as you do it far enough out.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of times those are done, 6 months prior to the cruise. That way they've got plenty of time to assign a specific dining area so that your group could be taken care of.
Yeah, and that's really, really important. All right, booking groups. Okay, cruise line, the dates, how many committed passengers, the cabins types, the breakdown. Now, step 2, you've gotten all that information. You contact the cruise line groups department, inquire about a sale, a deal, an offer. Remember where the deals are? They apply to groups too, so you can use that.
Exactly. You just want to be careful here, simply because keep in mind that your standard group rates, while they may be higher, you can get away with making the minimum deposits per cabin, and all funds are fully refundable up until final payment.
Right.
So a lot of times what I will do on my groups is I will keep them at the standard group rate until several months prior, and then I start putting in the VIFP numbers. If I have a smoking great deal, I'm going to go to the clients, let them know, I have this great rate. It's based on a non-refundable deposit, but I can save you X amount of dollars, and it may come with some additional, might give you some additional onboard credits. And depending upon what the client says, I will berth their cabin or change their cabin type to the non-refundables.
So again, there's a lot of stuff available here. Don't just go to the groups and look about the sale, a deal, an offer, an onboard ship credit. Make the booking with the full name of the agent and the Evolution ID number. Email booking information, booking number, ship and sale date, the agent's name and ID number to groupcruises@archertravel.com. That's Peggy. And contact her if you got a group. All right, let's go to the next slide. This is going to be, always ask. Are you asking? You should be asking this for everything that you're booking, whether it's land, cruise, FITs, all-inclusive resorts. Ask. Everything's on sale. Even now, after the holidays, there's still stuff on sale. Okay.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Always. Okay. Group cruise pricing. Okay, go ahead, Peggy.
Okay, step 2, group cruise pricing. When the agent contacts the cruise line, ask for the total gross price per cabin based on a double occupancy. This will be the price you quote to your client. The gross price includes the cabin cost, port charges, taxes, fees, insurance. I always add prepaid gratuities, but not everyone does. If you don't, the items that are not covered will be the beverage packages, shore excursions, Wi-Fi, spa, and gratuities.
Yeah.
Now you can talk to your person that's contacted you regarding the group to begin with. Ask if they want you to automatically add prepaid gratuities. Because one way or the other, they're going to have to be bought and paid for.
Yeah.
Either you do it prepaid or you do it as you're leaving the ship.
Right. And it's something that you really should. I mean, the people that have been in the comments room who have been on cruises, you know how hard these cruises work. Now, again, this is why these contracts come to us, is to make sure that you get paid. And one of the things that we always see the wrong thing is on, because that you're talking to the cruise line and you're going, oh wow, that's too much. Can you go any lower? Yeah, we'll give it to you for net, and you don't know what net is. And then you lose your commission. You want the gross price always. Always.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, that's really important.
There are several cruise lines that will automatically give you net.
Yep.
And when you are talking to the cruise lines, either the group desk, well, you'd be talking to the group desk, make sure that you are asking whether or not this is the gross price
Or the net price.
or the net. And then just make it clear you do not deal in net pricing. You want the gross.
You want the gross pricing. Always gross.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about my favorite, the beverage packages. Okay, you have
yes.
the non-alcoholic drink package, includes the following: coffees, teas, juices, sodas, milk, and water. Highly recommend, if you got a family of 4 and you got kids, you want to get this for them.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you do this separately, you will itemize this, and the sodas and all this stuff gets expensive real quick. So you want to get the non-alcoholic drink package. Then you have the wine and spirits package, includes the following: all the coffees, teas, juices, sodas, milk, unlimited beer, wine, mixed drinks, specialties. And on some they have charges for high-end liquors, but sometimes not, but that depends. So there you go. Step 3 to booking group cruises. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, contact Archer Travel. That will be my email address. It also gives you a phone number. You're going to send the booking information, Evolution ID, to the group cruises at archertravel.com. The Evolution agent will maintain 80% of the commission if the agent processes the group. Please assign someone to assist you.
Yeah.
Make your life easier.
Oh, God, it will. It will. Because you see, a lot of times, you guys don't go on the cruise. You don't.
Right.
You're booking it for the Johnsons. I'm not going on that cruise. So you got to be on top. It would be nice to have somebody that, is your eyes and ears there on the group. If they can call you and say, would something happen or this or that or this room, that way you can monitor it, because the majority of the time you guys don't go. All right, let's go. Booking group cruises. Evolution agent, group leader collects all the passenger information: the names, addresses, date of birth, phone, emergency contact numbers, state of residence. Evolution agent, group leader collects deposit money from the group, gives to the Evolution agent, pays with individual credit, debit card to the cruise line. Let's go this one. That's step 4. Step 4, continue. Go ahead, Peggy.
All right. Evolution agent, go to the website of the cruise line and input all passenger information and input and make the deposit using the credit card, or call the group cruise line with the passenger information and credit card payment information, because you can do that over the phone with all cruise lines too.
Now, here's something tricky about this, okay? As you start collecting these names, and like here, I show you where when I first started, I fell on my face really hard, okay? In Los Angeles, in this part of Southern California, it's a high Armenian population that lives here. And there was an Armenian family, and man, those names from Armenia, they can just be like, go on forever.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I didn't have an A, an I, and an N correct in one of the names, in several of the names, because I rushed through it. This is why you want to have the passports. This is why you want to have the birth certificates, to see the names and check the names before you start putting this in. Really make sure that the names are correct of what's on the passport and on the birth certificate. All right, step 5, booking group cruises. Final payment due date should be 90 days before the cruise line departure date. Give a 2-week notice. So if it's 90 days, okay, let's say 90 days out, it's April 15th. You want to tell the client, you know what, final due date is March 30th. See how I did that? 2 weeks? Because you know what? People are always going to say to you, oh man, I don't get paid till Friday. Can you extend it? So that gives you a leeway, a cushion there. Don't just say, okay, the due date is April 15th, I need everybody's money, because then you're going to run into an issue. Say it's March 31. Agents submit a booking commission form for group cruises. As soon as you get the contract and you've gotten the booking made, okay, with Peggy, Now is the time to fill out the commission form. Remember, you have 30 days after the booking date to get your commission form in. Deposit is due 60 days after booking date, or group cruise booking will be canceled per Archer Travel policy. $100 or $50 per passenger deposit is due, all credited to passenger payment. This varies. There are some cruise lines that offer free deposits or $25 deposits. The reason why they put 100 to 50 is that means people will commit to it. If you just put $25 down, it's like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. I lost $25. See, it's no biggie. But if you put $100,
no big deal. Yeah, exactly.
If you put $50 on it, then, well, wait a minute. I want to go. All right, Peggy, do this one.
All right. Make more commission. Sell the ports, pre and post cruise nights. This is a must for all group cruise clients. You've got to get them into the port city so they can board the ship the following day. And oh darn, a lot of the ports actually have some really great things to see and do. Great hotels, activities, restaurants, all of that is there. And oh darn, you make additional commission because you've done the pre-cruise night.
Now, don't get worried here. I mean, you know, we're not talking 5-star, the Fontainebleau or the Fairmont. They have very reasonable hotel nights and reasonable hotels that offer breakfast, that even offer transfers to the cruise terminal, that are very affordable. So, but you have to present it and do your research correctly, you know? So make sure you do that. You know, that's the way you're going to make more commission. And here's another way that you make it. You add more nights, you sell the port location suggested to the client. If you got somebody coming out of Long Beach, going on the Carnival Panorama, you know, you're like, what, on a good day, maybe 30 minutes away from Disneyland? So
maybe,
right? And, you know, advise 2 or 3 nights, that's more commission for you. I always think that Orlando and Port Canaveral, that's a win-win for you. If you got people flying into Orlando, you've got Disney World, you've got Universal, Epic Universe. I mean, while you're there, you should be taking advantage of that, going, you know what, honey, let's take the kids there before we get on the Carnival Mardi Gras, or, you know, or do that. That will expand it, and it's not that much. You're already there. They're there. You know, and they don't have to stay at the Disney resorts. There are affordable hotels outside of Disney World that are very reasonable, that supply transportation to the park and the Magic Kingdom and the other parks, that is very doable. So you just need to know that and put that in their ear and go, well, yeah, wow, we could go to Universal Epic Universe. The kids want to go. They want to do How to Build a Dragon, right? Isn't that what that thing is called? I don't know.
I can't remember. There's so many different things out there now.
All right, go ahead, Peggy. Do this one.
All right. And the next one is room res. You can book with different suppliers and make, of course, more commission, pre and post cruise nights, vacations, which is Apple Leisure Group, Pleasant Holidays, Room Res, Archer Go is available for hotels.
Oh, is that? And also Beds Online is another one.
Beds Online.
Book that one.
There's a lot of different ways that you can actually book them. And again, make more commission, which is great for your bottom dollars.
Yeah. You know, the hop-on, hop-off tours, you know, activities, events, theme parks, Viator, Expedia Tap, Room Res. You can book all of that there. So again, that's more commission for you. Other Evolution agent bookings. Please note, this is important. This is important. If a booking has been canceled or inventory changed by another Evolution agent, like you go in there and you say, you're talking to, you know, to the group's desk and, oh, yeah, that Johnson party. Well, I heard they canceled that. I can take those 5 cabins from them. If you do something like that, well, that's not good. Not the original agent who did the booking, but if you changed it, this is grounds for immediate dismissal of an Archer Evolution travel agent program. So leave other Evolution agents' bookings alone. Leave them alone. I tell you, we've had agents who've done this, and they were gone that fast. Peggy knows. Peggy knows that.
Yeah, we don't fool around with this. I have spent hours and days
Yeah.
months and months and months ago in trying to put groups back together in order to protect the original agents' bookings.
Yeah.
Well, then we started working with Royal Caribbean and Carnival regarding putting PIN numbers and security codes on.
Right. So those groups will be locked up. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So there we go on that one.
And as far as I'm concerned, that is not an option. That should be mandatory.
Mandatory. Okay. All right. Important booking into other groups. The cruise line will offer group rate. Ask cruise line booking into the group. Must let Archer Travel know you booked into the groups in commissions and Peggy. So in other words, let's say there's 50 cabins and they didn't get all sold out. And then, you call Carnival and you're talking to the customer service. You're not talking to the groups desk. You're talking to the customer service person there. They go, well, there's some rooms over there in the Johnson party that are available. You got to let us know about that. Right, Peggy?
Definitely. Because we need to make sure that the agent on the Johnson party hasn't already promised those cabins. Right. Or maybe she can add to the allotment so that your clients can be accommodated. Mm-hmm. And you also need to make sure that you get your part of the commission.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So make sure.
So by letting us know that, then we can make some adjustments should we need to. Now, there are other ways of going about this because sometimes, especially with Royal Caribbean, our consortium, Travel Leaders Network, may have a group on that particular booking. Well, you can sell into the TLN groups. You will, in fact, receive your full commission at 16%. But when you are filling out your commission tracking form, you need to let the commission department know that this is a Travel Leader Network group booking.
Right.
Because that's how commission will come over.
Right. And then you're calling us going, where's my commission? Where's my commission? Well, because you didn't tell them that it went from TLN. All right, Let's get going here. Oh, exactly. Okay. Agent prep the client checklist. You guys, we do a training on prep the client for the cruise, and I just want to point this out. There is dress up night. You need to tell the group this. And not only one night, if you're on a 7-night cruise, they might have several of these nights. At least three of the 7 nights will be dress up night. So make sure they know about that. How to pack for a cruise, internet sources, white night, red night, dress up night. So be aware of that, how to pack for a cabin cruise. Now, we've been talking about how you make that extra commission, right? With the pre and post nights and all that. We also have a training coming up in the next several weeks that Peggy's going to join me on that we're going to show you how to make more money being a cruise conductor. But that's a whole nother animal to talk about.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this week is Norwegian Cruise Line Week. I sent these videos to Peggy because I wanted her to see these.
Amazing.
This is the Agua. This ship is already here, but we're going to really concentrate on this thing today because I showed this on Monday, and it really woke some people up. This is the what is it called? The slide coaster, and we're gonna show this video again at the end of after we're done watching it. Ryan will provide the link for you in the comments room so you can share this on your social medias and also with your team members. Let's take a look at this. Norwegian Agua makes new waves. Check it out.
Link worked for me.
3, 2,
it's amazing.
1. Show me something.
Beautiful.
Showtime, burn it like an oven. Turn it on, get lost, better show me something. Show me something. Bright light, showtime, burn it like an oven. Turn it on, get lost, better show me something. Show me something. Show
aqua coaster, okay? And that's only on 2 ships, the Agua and the Luna. So you may want to think about that. You actually sit down on that contraption and feet front, and they slide you up that thing and shoot you down the tubes. So if you want a thrill, there you go. This ends tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, this ends tonight. I know people are saying, well, yeah, but it says here that it's going to go through the 18th. This ends tonight. And I asked Thomas while he was here yesterday, I said, are they going to extend it anymore? He said, no. So again, you got 50% off all cruises, free unlimited bar, free specialty dining, free Wi-Fi package, free excursion credits, free airfare for the second guest, and the kids sail for free, and up to $1,000 onboard credit for Alaska, Caribbean, and European cruises. So there you go. Take advantage of it. It ends tonight at midnight East Coast Standard Time. Ryan, do we have any questions or anything?
Yes, absolutely. We do have some questions. Let me go right here. I was making a list. As there are definitely some good ones today. All right. One of the ones I saw, Esmeralda Correa asked too. She wants to know, can you take your own wheelchair or like a CPAP machine when you go on a cruise, and how do you go about that?
Okay, Peggy, I want you to answer this one. Ryan just asked us, can you take your own wheelchair and your CPAP machine?
Yes, you will need to supply measurements on the wheelchair to make sure that it can go through the doors, especially on the special cabins that they have for handicapped. Need to make sure, and CPAP, the only thing that you're going to need to do there is make sure that you bring an extension cord, because not all cruise lines supply an extension cord. And then you're going to need, probably to make it easier, is order the distilled water for delivery to your cabin.
Yeah.
And that'll be done directly through the special desk at whatever cruise line you're utilizing.
Yeah. Okay, now you guys, again, anything can happen. Anything that, if you ask about it, it can be handled. It can be handled.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. Everything can be handled. So don't, but we don't want to get there the day of the cruise and stuff happen. Oh, we need a CPAP. No. We need this. We need distilled water. We need da-da-da-da, you know, or the wheelchair. Okay, next question.
Next question I have is from Yangja on Facebook. Do you need a passport for a closed loop cruise?
What do you mean by closed
maybe
cruise?
Maybe like what I just did, where I went to Mexico and.
Okay,
a closed loop cruise is going to be in and out of the same port.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's yeah. Listen, I just recommend that you get a passport. Like Ryan, okay, Ryan just went on the Quantum of the Seas. I'm going on the Quantum of the Seas. It goes down to Ensenada and back. Okay. For that, you don't need a passport. You can go with a birth certificate. But at the same time, if you get hurt while you're in Ensenada and you need medical attention and you have to stay there with a birth certificate, it's going to take you a real major problem to get back. And you don't sit there going, well, I'm not going to get hurt, Jose. Oh, yeah? I don't know how many people have gone on those ATV rides in Ensenada, or they've gone ziplining, or next thing you know, their ankle's twisted or something, and you need to go to the hospital. Stuff happens.
Right.
It happens.
And the ship's not going to wait for you.
That's right. And
so
that's
you're
why
going to be stuck in Ensenada, and to fly home, you're going to have a valid passport.
Right, or else you're not going to get back into the country. Now listen to me.
Exactly.
You guys should be starting to talk to your family members, friends, potential clients, and start saying, get a passport. You know why? Because when people get a passport, all of a sudden they think, wow, now I have
the
something.
world opens up to them. I can travel anywhere I want now.
On the planet. Yeah, yep. I can take the kids there. I can take the kids here. We can go to the Caribbean. We can go to Europe because we have passports. Yep. That's why I'm saying get them. Get them. Yep. Put that seed in them. And that, who are they going to go to book the travel? They're going to go to you, the agent. So really, say, hey, you know what? Let everybody get passports. If you have a large family, all right, you should start telling them, get your passports. Get your passports. We're going to travel. And I don't know when, but we are. And then I tell you, as soon as they grab, they're going to go, yeah, let's go. It'll just do. It's that magic booklet that goes, wow, I could go anywhere. All right.
Yeah.
Next question.
I can answer this one for Esmeralda. She wants to know if there's doctors on boards. Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
There's a doctor on board every ship. There's a
Yep.
full infirmary,
Yep.
usually located on one of the lower levels of the ship. As soon as you get on, you can ask any steward or any employee of the cruise line there where the infirmary is, and they will take you directly to it.
Yeah, and if you come down with the sniffles, if you feel sick, if you feel a little dizzy, they will take care of you. And they're great doctors there, too. Any other questions?
Yes, this one's interesting, and I think maybe we might be able to push for this a little bit. This one's from Christine Lunsford on Facebook. Does Archer plan on buying groups for us to sell again? She thinks that's what happened in the past, and you are absolutely right. Archer was buying group blocks and giving them to our agents at an even lower rate. So, Jose, what do you think about that?
You know what, Christine? Email the man. You know, our Archer at archertravel.com. Our Archer at archertravel.com. I don't know. We're growing so fast with all the other different markets because a lot of this stuff can go for las agentes in Mexico. And by the way, Astrid will be doing the same training in Mexico for tomorrow during her training. So you want to make sure that you know about it. Again, I would recommend, Christine, that you reach out to Ron Archer. That's a question that you can, and Ron is open, you guys. Every time you see Ron on, his lives, or he's now doing in the room over there.
The podcast.
The podcast room. He always gives his name and his phone number and everything. Email him. I'm sure he'll say yay or whatever, but he's the one who's got the answers to that. Anything else?
You know what? Since we're talking all about cruises today, Friday, at 11 a.m. Pacific time,
Yeah.
Ron will be with Charles Sylvia of CLIA.
Of CLIA.
Yes.
And that is selling out. If you want to go to that, it's in. I forgot to put the slide in there about it. And it had the QR code. It's in the Travel Cafe. Go in there. I would highly recommend that you get registered because it sells out.
If anyone received the Archer Travel newsletter, there's a register button in that newsletter, so you can register for that Zoom.
Right. All right, so that's that. Anything else?
One quick one from Christine Lunsford's. I already asked that one. Sorry, it's the one above. Sarah Harvey. Nope. Yangja again. Where's the question? Doesn't matter who asked it. The point is they want to know how to set up a PIN or a security number on the cruises. Do they need to speak with the groups department and say, hey, I want to secure my booking with a PIN?
Yeah, or
process?
Contact Peggy. Peggy will take that, right, Peggy? They want to know about securities and PINs, putting it on their groups.
Oh, definitely. They can reach back out to me, no problem.
And she'll get that set up for you, okay? Once you go through this process, and you'll see the assistance that you get from Archer Travel and with the great wealth that information and assistance that Peggy gives to you, it'll be a lot more easier the second one and the third one, and then it just keeps going and going and going and going. So
you're going to continue learning
and growing.
And every bit of information you're going to be able to store away and share.
Mm-hmm.
And you're all going to be experts at some point.
Yeah, you'll be the next experts after us. If you want to copy this PowerPoint.
Jose, I want to add one little one. We're going to still push this meeting with Charles Sylvia from CLIA. Can you give a little bit of an explanation what a CLIA card is and why agents should join us on Friday?
We talk about this all week. CLIA is the Cruise Line International Association, all right? They represent all the cruise lines in North America and Washington, D.C. They're a lobby that represents all the cruise lines, all right? They have outstanding service. It's an organization that you really want to go to. We talk about it every Monday and Friday about how you have it. Right now, it's open enrollment for it. If you join it, you get a $50 discount because you're an Archer Evolution agent. You get discounts at, the Disney discounts that you want when you go through the College of Knowledge. You need a CLIA card for that. You get hotel discounts. You get UPS discounts. You also get great courses that you can get and be a certified agent. A certification with CLIA lifts you up your value in your business as a travel advisor expert. So you really want to be here now. Mr. Sylvia and Ron, we do this every wave season because we're in wave season now. The first 3 months of the year is wave season. And it's really wonderful that these two giants can get together and talk about everything that can help you. So you really want to make sure that you are here for that. It'll be at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday. Now, like I said, it closes really quick. because last year I think we had over 1,000 people want it, and then we had to shut it down. We couldn't allow the other ones. We will then put it out afterwards if you miss it or if you can't make it or if you're busy. We will also post it in Travel Cafe sometime over the weekend. All right, is that it?
Yeah, I believe that's it for now. If anyone has any other questions, Jose, you want to give them the spiel of what to do?
Yeah, there you go. Just give us if you want to copy this PowerPoint, all you need to do is do that. Send me an email, and then PeggyH@ArcherTravel.com if you have any questions for Peggy. Peggy, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. I know she's extremely busy to be with us, and I really, really appreciate it. So, and I'll be talking to you soon,
I want to add something.
Thank you so much, Jose, for including me. This is so important to get all the information out to the agents, and ultimately, they're going to be much better agents for it.
Yeah, you will be. You will be. You got one more, Ryan?
I'm typing it in the chat right now.
Okay. All right, I'll see you guys on Friday. Join me on Friday. We're going to set you up for next week. We're going to give away some stuff, and next week's going to be a good week. One of my favorite suppliers will be in the house, and that's always a lot of fun. I'm Jose Lambert of Archer Travel Service. You'll have a wonderful couple of days. See you Friday. Bye.